This is Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. Now from the Collins Aerospace Studio at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford, here's your host, Eric Wilson.
Welcome to another edition of Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl, our very first Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl of 2024. Thanks for joining us and spending part of your weekend with us. Last week, you saw a really good game. In fact, Marengo had one of the strongest performances so far this season. They put up nearly 300 points against Oregon. Pretty good chance that one of these two teams, maybe both of these teams, will get a score pretty high or near in that same territory because of the history that we have with them. We know how well they play this game. Let's first welcome Year 10 playing Auburn Knights. And I mean, let's be honest, there's really not much we can say about Auburn, right? I mean, I'm sorry, I'm double checking my notes here. I missed some things. They are the highest scoring and winningest team in Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl history. And of course, they have 7 championships to back that up. That kind of gives them a little bit of confidence moving into this game, I would imagine. Brielle is their captain this season. It's good to see you all again. Brielle, introduce us to your starting lineup.
Hi, I'm Brielle. To my left, we have Juan. To my near right, we have Luke. And to my far right, we have Olivia.
Welcome, Auburn Knights, and good luck. Standing in their way are the Pearl City Wolves. I half expected the crowd to howl for you guys. This is Pearl City's 9th season. This may look like a tough draw for them, but they do have a pretty successful run throughout their games here as well, looking for another second-round appearance, maybe farther. Right, Jacob? Jacob is their captain. Who did you bring with you today?
To my right is Kyle, to my left is Georgia, and to my far left is Caitlin.
Welcome, and of course we keep our theme going for Season 10. Neither of these teams and none of the teams that you've seen play so far have actually played each other in the history of our tournament. So this is the first time. Pretty exciting. Hands on your buzzers. Contestants, let's get things started this week. It's our buzz-in round, and the two most important rules are always wait for me to call your name before you answer, and say that answer loudly and clearly. Ready to have some fun and maybe give some good right answers? Probably a lot of right answers between these two teams. Here we go. Good luck. What last name is shared by a British driver who's won a record-tying 7 Formula One titles and the first U.S. Secretary of the Treasury? Luke.
Hamilton.
That is correct. Of course, the $10 founding father without a father, and we've got our Hamilton reference out of the way for the game. What Gilbert and Sullivan operetta in which Captain Corcoran and Ralph were switched at birth is named for a naval ship? It's kind of a tough musical question. They're actually from the late 1800s, the HMS Pinafore. The library of Ashurbanipal, found at Nineveh, was a collection of more than 30,000 tablets acquired by what Middle Eastern empire? Juan.
Assyrian.
That is right, ruled by Sargon II. What particles, which are the heaviest outputs of beta-minus decay, consist of 2 up quarks and 1 down quark and are positively charged nucleons? Brielle.
Protons.
Protons is correct. What Midwestern city, whose police were accused by a 2023 DOJ report of bias against black and native residents, is where George Floyd was killed? Luke.
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis is right. What president proposed global arms reduction and an international peacekeeping organization in his 14 points? Brielle.
Wilson.
That's right, at the Versailles Conference, also known as the Paris Peace Conference, ending World War I. What influential 18th century English publisher wrote the lengthy epistolary novels Pamela and Clarissa? Brielle.
Smith.
Incorrect. Pearl City, you could take these points. It's kind of a tough literature question there. Samuel Richardson. What singer collaborated with Sean Paul on the song No Lie and released the 2020 album Future Nostalgia, which contains Levitating and Don't Start Now? Brielle.
Dua Lipa.
You got it. And fans lost their minds this fall when she wiped her Instagram clean. Were you okay when that happened? Brielle's not one of those fans that follows her too much on the gram. That's fine.
Okay.
What loud and startling phenomenon occurs when an object travels through air faster than the speed of sound, creating Luke?
Sonic boom.
That's right, creating a shock wave, and that's how we hear that shock wave, as a boom. What 1999 coming-of-age novel in which the English teacher Bill introduces the teenager Charlie to classic books was written by Stephen Chbosky? Emma Watson starred in the 2012 film based on this, The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Abkhazia is a largely unrecognized breakaway republic from what country on the Black Sea, whose capital is Tbilisi? Brielle.
Georgia.
Georgia is right. What type of animal is represented by the constellation that includes Polaris and by the constellation containing the Big Dipper, namely Ursa Major? One.
Bear.
That's right. Polaris is in Ursa Minor. What god whose temples in Rome were closed in times... One.
Oh, Janus.
That is correct. Janus or Janus, we will take that. Closed in times of peace, two-faced god of beginnings, and the namesake of the first month of the year. What Portuguese novelist imagined the Iberian Peninsula detaching from Europe in The Stone Raft and depicted a strange plague in his book Blindness? Jose Saramago. And that buzzer means our time is up for the round. Auburn just reached into triple digits with that last correct answer that they had. Pearl City is yet to get on the board, but we've got a lot of game left to play. Our volleyball round is next, and we'll have that for you right after this. We are about to start round 2 this week at Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. That's our volleyball round, our back and forth round. Before we get to do that and change the scores a little bit, we want to say a very special thank you to Dean David Schneider. He is the Dean of Enrollment Services at Rock Valley College, and we are thanking him because he's our judge today. David is a longtime friend of mine, but also friend of the show. Dean Schneider, we appreciate you being here for this. Okay, volleyball round, contestants, is a conferring round. Work as a team, but the answers have to come from the captains, Brielle and Jacob. Speaking of Jacob, you get our first volleyball question. Are you and the Wolves ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. James Boswell wrote a biography of what author of Lives of the Most Eminent English Poets who published a 1755 English dictionary?
Webster.
That is a very good guess. Johnson. Samuel Johnson. Auburn, here's your first question of the volleyball round. What novel in which a proposal from farmer Robert Martin is unwisely rejected by Harriet Smith is named for a matchmaker and is by Jane Austen?
Emma.
That's right. Probably not quite as well known as Pride and Prejudice or Sense and Sensibility, but you got it. Back to Pearl City. In 1915, what country signed the Treaty of London to join the Allied powers after nominally being allied with Germany at the start of World War I?
Russia.
Incorrect. Italy. It would join Germany again as an Axis power in World War II. Back to Auburn. What agreement, which drew a line across the Louisiana Territory above which slavery was banned, allowed Maine and a namesake state to join the U.S.?
The Missouri Compromise.
Yes, and that is that namesake state. Back to Pearl City. What piano ballad from 2023's Super Mario Brothers movie is performed by Jack Black as Bowser, who sings about his true love?
Peaches.
Peaches is right. Georgia, was that your answer? Nice work. He sings it to his crush, Princess Peach. And those are your points. Nice job. Back to Auburn. What state is represented by both the oldest person to become a freshman senator, Peter Welch, and the Democratic Socialist, Bernie Sanders?
Vermont.
Yeah.
Vermont.
You seem to be in agreement with that one, and you're correct. Back to Pearl City. The Salton Sea is a landlocked body of water that is near the Imperial Valley in the southern part of what state? Buzzer got you. You whispered Alabama, right?
I did,
That would
yeah.
have been incorrect. It's actually California. The Salton Sea is about a little southeast of Palm Springs in California. Back to Auburn. What Dutch artist painted the Last Judgment into his woman holding a balance and showed a woman in a turban in Girl with a Pearl Earring?
Vermeer.
That is correct. John Vermeer, the other famous Dutch artist. Back to Pearl City. Which Anglo-Saxon king who was briefly overthrown by Sven Forkbeard received his epithet because he was poorly advised?
King Charles.
Incorrect. Ethelred the Unready. He got that unready because he was poorly advised. Auburn, here's one for you. What layer below the Gutenberg discontinuity hosts a dynamo powered by its convection that creates Earth's magnetic field and is made of liquid iron?
No. Core.
Liquid
Yeah, so outer core.
core.
Can you be more specific?
Outer core.
Outer core is right. Juan, I heard you give that answer. Had to come from Brielle, but nice work there working as a team, and that long buzzer means the round is over as well. Auburn's bumped their score up to 150. Pearl City's on the board with 10, and Georgia's super stoked about that. Oh, there's way more to be stoked about in our next round because the lightning round has a ton of points in it, and I have a good feeling about this for you guys. Before we get to lightning, though, you get a chance to play at home with the Bergstrom bonus question. We'll be right back with the answer.
Paramount Plus might be the current home of Beavis and Butthead, but what network, also known for launching The Jersey Shore and Teen Mom, was the cartoon's original home?
Halftime here at State Line Quiz Bowl, and it's time for our halftime show, or here that consists of a pizza party, although a future pizza party. So we don't even have the party now. But one of our teams could earn that pizza party answering our Bergstrom bonus question correctly. That's what's on the line here from Lino's of Rockford. If you're watching at home, you already saw the question. Our contestants have not, so this is their first chance, and it's your chance to see if you're right. Are you guys ready? Hands on your buzzers. Let me know if you know the answer to this. Lino's is on the line. Paramount Plus might be the current home of Beavis and Butthead, but what network, also known for launching The Jersey Shore and Teen Mom, was the cartoon's original home? Brielle.
Comedy Central.
Incorrect. Pearl City. This pizza could be yours once we clear the buzzers. Go ahead, Caitlin.
MTV.
MTV is right. Look at the excitement. That's awesome.
That's what we want, Katie.
Believe it or not, years ago, MTV actually played music videos. Now they just have, I don't even know what they have right now. And I have nothing clever to say. Just anytime I can reference Beavis and Butthead, that's pretty cool. All right, we're going to take a break and come back with our Nika IBEW lightning round. We're back, and we had to take the last 2.5 minutes or so to kind of catch our breaths because the excitement was just it was contagious here between Georgia and Caitlin and the rest of the Pearl City Wolves because of their victory in the Bergstrom bonus question. Nice job, you guys. All right, let's head into our Nika IBEW lightning round. It's a pretty exciting round. Auburn gets first pick, and remember, teams, if you run one of these categories, you could have 100 points added to your score. No one's done it yet so far this season. Could be Auburn, could be Pearl City, who knows? We're at 150 to 10 right now. Brielle, your 3 categories to choose from this week are Henry's, literary houses, or Super Bowl 57.
Henry's, please.
You got it. Give the surnames of these people named Henry. So I will describe them to you. You need to give me their surname or their last name. Make it a little bit simpler. 60 seconds on the clock, and then Jacob, you and the team will have 30 seconds to get to whatever they don't. Brielle, are you ready for the first one?
Yes.
Here we go. Give the surnames of these people named Henry. Automaker who made the Model T.
Ford.
Correct. Great compromiser of 19th century
Clay.
Congress.
Clay.
Correct. Explorer who names the river that separates New York and New Jersey.
Yeah, Hudson.
Hudson.
Correct. Poet of the Song of Hiawatha.
Skips the pass. Longfellow.
Pass.
Author of The Turn of the Screw.
Henry. Is that Pinter?
Go for it.
Pinter.
Incorrect. First U.S. Secretary of War.
Knox.
Correct. Author of Tropic of Cancer.
Pass.
Pass.
Great German American Secretary of State under Nixon and Ford.
Kissinger.
Kissinger.
Correct. Baroque English composer of the opera Dido and Aeneas.
Henry Purcell.
Go for it.
Purcell.
Say that again.
Purcell.
Incorrect. Actor who played Superman in Man of Steel.
Cavill.
Correct, and that is our time. 6 of them right. You added 60 points to your score. There's 4 left for you, Jacob, and the team. 30 seconds on the clock. Are you ready for these? Give the surnames of these people named Henry. Poet of the Song of Hiawatha.
Pass.
Author of The Turn of the Screw.
Jones.
Say it again.
Jones.
Incorrect. Author of Tropic of Cancer.
Smith.
Incorrect. Baroque English composer of the opera Dido and Aeneas.
DeVoe.
Incorrect. Poet of the Song of Hiawatha.
Jones.
Incorrect. A few seconds on the clock there, but we'll just move on. I'll give the answers that no one got, the 4 that are left. Poet, Song of Hiawatha, also wrote Paul Revere's Ride and Evangeline, and I think someone said it in your deliberations, but again, I have to hear it from the captains. It was Longfellow, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Turn of the Screws author was Henry James. I think someone said Jones. The author of Tropic of Cancer was Henry Miller. And the Baroque English composer of Dido and Aeneas is Purcell. So we got one category down, one more to go. 200-point swing here, but Pearl City, you'll close this gap really quickly if you can swing through one of these or run this category. The 2 that are left, Jacob, are literary houses or Super Bowl 57.
Houses.
All right. We'll leave the Super Bowl by the wayside. Name the authors of these literary works titled for houses. So I will give you the work, you give me the author. 60 seconds on the clock. Same 30-second rule applies to you, Brielle, and the Knights. Jacob, are you ready for your first question? Name the authors of these literary works titled for houses. The Little House on the Prairie series.
Laura Ingalls Wilder.
Correct. The House of the Seven Gables.
Anne.
Incorrect. The play A Doll's House, a Norwegian.
Pass.
The short story The Fall of the House of Usher.
Oh. Pass.
To the Lighthouse.
Pass.
The House on Mango Street.
Pass.
Bleak House.
Jones.
Incorrect. The House of Mirth.
Jones again.
Incorrect. 20th century Spanish author of The House of Bernarda Alba.
Pass.
Trinidadian British author of A House for Mr. Biswas.
Pass.
The play A Doll's House, a Norwegian.
Jones.
Incorrect. The short story The Fall, and that's our buzzer. You got one of them right, you're up to 20. That was a tough category once we started rolling with that. There's 30 seconds on the clock, Brielle. It's not much time, and there's 90 points available, and I'll read this as quickly as possible. If you're paying attention, maybe it won't take you that long, or we'll get through a lot of these. Are you ready for your first one? Name the authors of these literary works titled for houses. House of the Seven Gables.
Montgomery.
Incorrect. The play A Doll's House.
Ibsen.
Correct. The short story The Fall of the House
Poe.
of Usher. Correct. To the Lighthouse.
Wolfe.
Correct. The House on Mango Street.
Ciceronos.
Correct. Bleak House.
Dickens.
Correct. The House of Mirth.
Wharton.
Correct. 20th century Spanish author of The House of Bernarda Alba.
Paz.
Incorrect. And that's our time. Didn't have enough time to read that last one or get the answer out. You added 60 points to your score. You're up to 270. That was very solid recovery round there. I'll give you the 3 no one got. House of the Seven Gables, probably better known for the Scarlet Letter. That was Nathaniel Hawthorne. The 20th century Spanish author, The House of Bernarda Alba, was Federico Garcia Lorca. And the Trinidadian British author of A House for Mr. Biswas is Naipaul, V.S. Naipaul. So we have one round left to play in our game. Auburn close to 300 points. They're at 270. Pearl City's got 20, but our final challenge round has a lot of points available as well. Each of our questions in that buzz-in are worth 20 points apiece. So we'll see how that goes after this break. We'll see you in just a few minutes. One round left in this weekend's Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl with a seat in the Sweet 16 on the line. Auburn has a pretty commanding lead right now, 270 points to Pearl City's 20. We'll see how it ends up in just about 3 minutes or so when we finish this final challenge round. Same rules as our first round, contestants. It's a buzz-in. Everybody ready? Lots of smiles still around? All right, that's a good sign. Hands on your buzzers. Here we go with our Mercy Health final challenge. What German composer's tone poems include A Hero's Life and a work based on the writings of Friedrich Nietzsche, also sprach Zarathustra? Jacob.
Bach.
Incorrect. Auburn, these could be your points. Brielle.
Mozart.
Incorrect. Strauss. Richard Strauss. What film, which opens as a woman gets attacked off the coast of Amity Island, was directed by Steven Spielberg? Brielle.
Jaws.
That's right. It's about a man eating shark. It's where you get that line, you're going to need a bigger boat. What theory, often named for two scientists, defines acids as proton donors and bases as proton acceptors? Georgia.
Gay Lushak.
Incorrect. Auburn? Go ahead, Juan.
Louis Bronsted.
We'll take that. It's a Bronsted-Lowry acid-base theory. In what country will the iconic tower be part of a yet unnamed new administrative capital that Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's regime, Caitlin?
The SAE.
Incorrect. I'll finish for Auburn. Regime is building near Cairo. Brielle.
Egypt.
Yes, sure. Cairo, Egypt's capital. That probably was a good clue. New question. In what state's 2022 gubernatorial election did Democrat Wes Moore defeat Dan Cox to succeed term-limited Republican Larry Hogan? Luke.
Michigan.
Incorrect. Pearl City. Jacob.
Nebraska.
Incorrect. Maryland, a little bit farther northeast. What poet beseeched a goddess to fight by my shoulder in the Ode to Aphrodite, the only extant complete poem by this ancient Greek woman from Lesbos? Juan.
Sappho.
Sappho is right. What 2023 reality show on Amazon Freevee featured Ronald Gladden as the only participant in a trial who, Luke?
Jury Duty.
Yes, who was not secretly an improv actor. What country whose fleet lost the Battle of Tsushima ceded one?
Russia.
That is right. Half of Sakhalin in 1905. What quantity is equal to enthalpy minus temperature times 1?
Free energy.
Can you be more specific?
Gibbs free energy.
Gibbs free energy is right. Decreases in spontaneous processes. What country whose capital borders two other countries is governed from Bratislava and was once part of a union with the neighboring Czech Republic? 1.
Slovakia.
Slovakia is right. The two separated in 1993. And that is how we end the round. The highest point total so far this season, the Auburn Knights. Congratulations. You are moving on. Fist bumps all around over there. In familiar territory, you are moving on to the second round. Pearl City, first of all, it has been a pleasure to watch you play the game. I mentioned how fun it was to watch contestants who have fun. You guys fit that bill perfectly. And plus, you get the pizza party. That's kind of a nice consolation. That's right. How many of you are seniors?
Us three.
So that means, Caitlin, you come back. You're going to lead the team to victory next season in season 11.
This.
That's
she
right.
Can do it.
So enjoy the pizza. We're really glad you're here. And also, Georgia and Caitlin, thanks for keeping an eye on my pocket square today. Straight, right? Very good. And thank you for spending some time with us. Next week, we'll find out who Auburn plays when Forreston takes on Stockton. Hope you can join us.